In the world of bodybuilding, there is one name that resonates loudly: Ronnie Coleman, a man who not only conquered the Mr. Olympia stage 8 times, equaling Lee Haney's record holder, but he also took his body to the next level, to the point of suffering serious injuries from overly intense workouts, where he squatted over 360 kilos. Don't forget to subscribe to Bodybuilding World, as we will soon learn how the burger-loving legend destroyed his body with bodybuilding at the cost of his great success. Ronnie Coleman was born in Monroe, Louisiana in 1964. As a young man, Ronnie studied accounting at Grambling State University, while also training for college football, where he played linebacker. By this age, he was already a true beast of 229 pounds. After graduating and failing to find a job, he decided to take advantage of the opportunity to work as a policeman in Texas, where he began lifting weights and becoming obsessed with fitness. It was at this time that his passion for bodybuilding began to blossom, inspired by legends such as Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lee Haney. At this stage, Brian Dobson, a gym owner and trainer, appeared and saw in Ronnie a great opportunity for bodybuilding. He was the one who helped him achieve the dream physique and great success. From that point on, Ronnie began his legendary workouts. Ronnie would lift weights for 2 hours a day and do 30 minutes of cardio, repeating each muscle group twice a week. This man was pushing himself to the limit and would use the famous phrase, "lightweight baby," which means lightweight ironically to motivate himself. His high demands obviously brought him complications. In 1996, while squatting 595 pounds, Ronnie Coleman heard an alarming sound in his back that worried him. After finishing his routine, the pain persisted, so he went to the hospital, where he was diagnosed with a herniated disc. This was his first injury of his career. Do you wonder if this stopped him? Despite doctors telling him to lift less weight, Ronnie raised his standards by lifting an astonishing 798 pounds in the next workout, which 2 years later would bring him a reward. If we go back a little in time, Ronnie had his first big competition at Mr. Texas in 1990, where he crowned and even beat his friend Dobson, being the beginning of his rise in the world of bodybuilding. 2 years later, Ronnie had his first big challenge in 1992 at the famous Mr. Olympia. Despite coming in 4th place, he impressed everyone with his massive physique and imposing presence. It was Dorian Yates who won. This defeat did not stop him. It was from here that, with extremely intense training sessions and a focus on lifting heavy weights with an intensity never seen before, Ronnie developed one of the most impressive physiques in the history of bodybuilding. With his 6 feet tall and 295 pounds of competition weight, he made famous the phrase, "If you can move it, it's light." And this was reflected in what was his first great feat of his career. At the 1998 Mr. Olympia, the entire fitness world had 2 favorites: Flex Wheeler, known for his perfect aesthetics and symmetry, and without a doubt Dorian Yates, the reigning champion who had won the contest from 1992 to 1997. To the surprise of the fitness world, Ronnie Coleman, with his perfect poses, imposing physique and charisma, won the Mr. Olympia, ending Dorian Yates's reign and ushering in a new era in bodybuilding. His 793 pounds in squats and workouts paid off. This victory set the stage for the 7 straight that followed, winning the Mr. Olympia from 1998 to 2005, something that only he and Lee Haney in the 80s achieved. His size, veins, and muscles were mesmerizing for the judges, who year after year chose him as the best, where the other participants had no other option than to fight for the 2nd place. Each year, he returned to the Mr. Olympia stage with noticeable improvements in his physique. The beauty lasted until 2006, when a certain Jay Cutler put an end to his streak in one of the most controversial finals in the history of said competition. The moment when the judges announced their decision is, without a doubt, peculiar. The champion seemed uncomfortable And later, Jay Cutler confessed that he was not completely satisfied, confessing, "I did not beat the best Ronnie Coleman of all time. I was simply better that day." From this point on, Ronnie began to worry more about his health when he underwent surgery in 2006 to repair a herniated disc that had occurred 10 years earlier when he squatted 595 pounds. Despite the operation, he decided to compete the following year. But his training was no longer as intense with his injuries and operations, affecting his ability to maintain the muscle mass and definition he had shown in previous years. At the 2007 Mr. Olympia, the 295 pounds legend's body did not have the same muscle density and definition. Although he was still in excellent shape, his appearance was not the same, and other competitors, such as Jay Cutler, who was crowned again, undoubtedly had a better physique. 2 years later, with his physique already hurt by the effects of lifting so much weight, Ronnie Coleman announced his retirement from bodybuilding, which was an emotional moment for his fans. Ronnie had to pay the price for his 17-year-long career, where his severe back pain led him to have to undergo surgery for the deterioration of his spine. These interventions included multiple disc decompressions, spinal fusions, and the insertion of screws and rods to stabilize his spine. One of his most significant surgeries was in February 2016, where he had 6 titanium screws implanted in his back in a process that lasted 11 hours. And it wasn't just his spine that brought him problems, his hip did too. Since his retirement, he has had 2 hip replacements. The first was in 2018 and the second in 2020. Both operations were necessary due to the wear and tear on his hips, which resulted from his demanding training routine and previous injuries. Today, he continues to have problems with his hips and spine that have made him accustomed to pain, to the point of having to take up to 4 painkillers a day to avoid discomfort. Ronnie finds it difficult to stand for too long, and even has to use a wheelchair to travel long distances. And to go to the bathroom, he needs 2 crutches. His back has undoubtedly suffered an advanced state of wear and tear from all the weight he has put on it these years, where his discs have worn down. Does he regret anything? Ronnie was asked, to which he replied, "Yes, not doing 1 more rep." Despite his crutches and wheelchair, Ronnie Coleman continues with his training routine. On social media, she frequently posts videos of her life at the gym, where she continues to work out to stay in shape. However, she has reduced the intensity of her workouts and now uses lighter weights.
Nowadays, instead of completely moving away from the world of bodybuilding, Ronnie Coleman has found new ways to stay active and relevant in the industry. He dedicates himself to offering seminars in various parts of the world, sharing his experience and knowledge of bodybuilding. In addition, in 2010, he launched his own line of supplements, known as the Ronnie Coleman Signature Series. If you are wondering who was better, Arnold or Coleman, in today's era, where giants of muscle and extreme volume dominate, Coleman would have the advantage without a doubt. With more than 4 inches of height over Arnold, the latter weighed around 44 pounds less than Coleman. A significant difference in today's bodybuilding competitions, where size trumps aesthetics. Despite this, Coleman is undoubtedly a clear example that sometimes our dreams come before physical health. His dream of being the best bodybuilder in history and winning the Mr. Olympia as many times was greater than the cost of the physical consequences he was going to suffer by training, lifting an inhuman weight. From humble beginnings to becoming an 8-time Mr. Olympia, Coleman marked an era in the sport. But today, the years have taken their toll on him, what many experts have considered to be an overtraining effort to achieve the body he wanted for his professional career. Beyond his achievements on the stage, Ronnie has left a historic legacy in fitness culture, inspiring millions of people around the world to follow in his footsteps and pursue greatness in their own lives. Ronnie Coleman's health condition serves as a powerful testament to human resilience, but also as a warning about the potential risks associated with extreme competitive bodybuilding. His experience underscores the importance of body care, proper recovery, and ongoing medical follow-up for athletes who push their bodies to such extremes. Ronnie Coleman's health condition is a powerful testament to human resilience, but also acts as a warning about the dangers that can arise from extreme competitive bodybuilding. His journey highlights the importance of taking care of one's body, prioritizing proper recovery, and ongoing medical follow-up for athletes who push their bodies to the limit. Ronnie Coleman's story is certainly admirable despite his ultimate sacrifice. If you were surprised by the video, you can subscribe to Bodybuilding World and watch the following surprising story of this famous bodybuilder that will move you.